Good evening and welcome. It's 8 p.m. on the clock. It's time for the news on NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. These are the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's strategic meet with Saudi Crown Prince. Prime Minister Modi says India-Saudi friendship crucial for peace. Prince Salman notices and says will work diligently on the corridor. Massive protests in Andhra Pradesh over TDP chief's arrest. Cooked up case. TDP slams the Jagan government over the arrest. Chandrababu Naidu has been sent for 14-day judicial custody. Alert over fake cancer and liver medicines in India. Indian drug regulator acts on WHO notice. Drug regulator orders random sampling and checks. Markets at all-time high. Nifty hits 20,000. Nifty hits 20,000 mark for the first time. And we get you a big exclusive with India's trinity of chess champions, Viswanathan, Anand, Pragananda and Gukesh. Well, trade, economy, defence and cultural cooperation were the main topics of discussion between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud during the latter's state visit to India. The two leaders also co-chaired the first meeting of the Strategic Partnership Council after it was formed in 2019. My colleague Parmeshwar Bawa has more.
भारत के लिए सऊदी अरब हमारे सबसे महत्वपूर्ण स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनर में से एक है। हमारा आपसी सहयोग पूरे क्षेत्र की शांति और स्थिरता के लिए महत्वपूर्ण है।
After having participated in the G20 Leaders Summit in New Delhi, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman held extensive talks with our Prime Minister and discussed shoring up bilateral trade and defence ties.
आज की हमारी बैठक से हमारे संबंधों को एक नई ऊर्जा, एक नई दिशा मिलेगी और हमें मिलकर मानवता की भलाई के लिए काम करते रहने की प्रेरणा मिलेगी। कल हमने मिलकर भारत, पश्चिम एशिया और यूरोप के बीच इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर स्थापित करने के लिए ऐतिहासिक शुरुआत की है।
There is cooperation to build the future of our country and create opportunities. Today we're working on the future opportunities. There is a huge agenda to be working with. We are working through this council to achieve these accomplishments.
This is a big deal. This is a real big deal.
In a bid to stimulate economic development through enhanced connectivity and economic integration, India, along with other members of the G20, has now entered into a historic memorandum of understanding to develop an India-Middle East-Europe economic corridor. This proposed corridor will comprise of two separate corridors, the Eastern Corridor and the Northern Corridor. The former will connect India to the Arabian Gulf and the latter will connect the Arabian Gulf to Europe. As per the MOU, the members intend to meet within the next 60 days to develop and commit to an action plan with relevant timetables. However, although the memorandum sets forth the political commitments of its participants, it does not create any rights obligations under international law, which means that the members are not necessarily bound by it. US President Joe Biden joined hands with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince at the behest of Prime Minister Modi to solidly back the project. This also comes at a time when Italy, a G7 power, under Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, is poised to withdraw from China-sponsored BRI. China's Belt and Road Initiative, often called the New Silk Road, is an ambitious plan to develop two new trade routes connecting China with the rest of the world. But it's about more than infrastructure. The project has expanded to Africa and Latin America, significantly broadening China's economic and political influence. The Middle East Corridor MOU comes at a time when the Chinese BRI project is being questioned not only outside the country but also within the country, as a number of participating countries like Pakistan and Sri Lanka have no money to pay back Beijing debts due to high interest rates and are being forced to swap debt with equity in the project. Parmeshwar Bawa for NDTV.
Meanwhile, a day after Chandrababu Naidu's arrest, Telugu Desam activists spilled onto the roads despite prohibitory orders, as this could be the beginning of a do-or-die political battle for the state of Andhra Pradesh.
Protests by Telugu Desam activists across Andhra Pradesh after former Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu was sent to Rajahmundry Central Jail late on Sunday by an ACB court in Vijayawada and became remand prisoner 7691. The former Chief Minister is accused of conspiring to divert government funds meant for upskilling youth.
So without producing any kind of evidence, how can you say that Chandrababu Naidu had committed a crime or was part of some kind of a corruption in the skill development issue? So it is purely political vendetta. It is purely witch hunting. Not able to face Chandrababu Naidu democratically. The Chief Minister Jagan Reddy, with the help of his puppet police department, had cooked up a false case without producing any kind of evidence. They are trying to frame Chandrababu Naidu as a kind of a corrupt politician, and yesterday they have sent him.
Prohibitory orders had been imposed fearing that trouble could escalate on the ground. The YSRCP said Naidu would pay for what they called his wrongful actions.
Whatever the department has done and whatever the crime he has done, they have put forth before the court with strong evidences, and giving remand itself is the proof that prima facie court is also strongly believing that it's a strong case.
Even as Chandrababu Naidu braces for a legal battle, then Finance Secretary P.V. Ramesh said his statement to the CID appears to have been misinterpreted and insists that all due procedure was followed by the then Chief Minister and his department in release of funds to the Skill Development Corporation. Politics in Andhra Pradesh tends to be personal and nasty. If for years Chandrababu Naidu took a jibe at Jagan Mohan Reddy for his time in jail, it is now payback time for the YSRCP. The timing of the arrest of Naidu just a few months before elections, however, could be a major setback to the Telugu Desam, for who this could be the beginning of a do-or-die battle. With Madhu, Lakshman and Venu in Andhra Pradesh, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
The Drug Controller General of India has issued a red alert for counterfeit cancer and liver medication. This after the World Health Organization flagged spurious versions of Takeda Pharma cancer injection and Gentalum liver drugs. In fact, my colleague Vedant has more on this.
Another big blow for the Indian pharmaceutical industry after multiple WHO alerts and foreign country alerts on Indian medicines, Indian manufactured medicines. Now an alert on cancer injection etc. and liver medicine Defitelio. Now after the WHO alert, the drugs controller, DGCI or the drug regulator, has issued instructions to monitor the sale of these falsified medicines. So the state drug controllers have been asked to monitor the sales of these two medicines. The WHO had said that counterfeit injections from at least 8 batches are in circulation. In fact, this was not just with regard to what's happening in India, but also in Turkey. Now, drug regulators across the country have been asked to be vigilant and be alert. In fact, doctors and patients both have been advised to be particularly vigilant as far as these two medicines are concerned. Now, these fake versions are in circulation across the country. Etc. of course, is used for, as I mentioned, as a cancer injection, and Defitelio is used for blocked vessels as far as liver ailments are concerned. So these are, of course, serious serious ailments we are talking about, and there could be serious health risks and ramifications if these fake or falsified medicines are consumed. Now, the centre has tightened its nose on the pharmaceutical industry, particularly after countries like Uzbekistan and Gambia actually flagged Indian manufactured medicine. So there has been a nationwide crackdown on pharmaceuticals. Show cause notices have been issued to at least 11 drug manufacturers, and nearly 20 pharmaceuticals have been asked to shut. Their entire operations have been asked to shut in just the past 6 or 7 months. Now, the government has also introduced a central quality test for drugs before they're exported. So there's a central standardization mechanism that's now in place for export quality drugs. But the big question is, does Indian domestic pharma also need stricter vigil? Now, as far as fake drugs are concerned, it's a big menace. There's a fake drug empire running in India. In just the past 1 year, 6 states have, there's been a drive against fake drugs in 6 states, including UP, Bihar, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana and Telangana. Spurious drug rackets have been detected across 6 states. Fake drugs were manufactured mostly in Himachal and Haryana, and they were transported to various states, and the suppliers pasted invoices of other goods to actually fool tax officials. After this, it was a joint effort between the central drug regulator, the CDSCO and state drug regulators, and there was a joint drive that was launched against these fake drugs. So of course, it's a big menace, and it comes at a time when there's a lot of trust deficit surrounding Indian pharmaceuticals.
Let's shift focus to Assam now, where the state is facing hottest September on record, with mercury crossing 39.4 degrees Celsius last week. With the sharp increase in power demand and subsequent shortage, the government has had to impose power cuts, creating major inconvenience for the people. The chief minister, in fact, and his government is having to field questions inside the assembly and outside on the streets on the power outage.
Assam's independent MLA Akhil Gogoi attended the assembly session today holding a lamp and handmade fan in his hands in protest against power crisis in the state. Day 1 of autumn session saw adjournment of all other businesses for discussion on power scenario after a debate over electricity shortage.
We have our own production is 281 megawatt of our own in peak season, peak hour, and we consume in peak season, in peak time, we consume 2,540 megawatt. We have no production here. In 7 years in BJP tenure, no power is produced in Assam.
बीजेपी का 2014 में जो वादा था 24 आवर्स पावर मिलेगा, तो आज 24 आवर्स में 24 टाइम पावर कट हो रहा है, तो आप इसको कैसे मिनिमम बोल सकते हैं?
This autumn, Assam is witnessing unprecedented heat, and with it, there is an increase in power cuts due to sharp rise in demand of power during peak hours, and this situation has led the government to answer many questions both inside and outside state assembly.
Amar lora choli pora garne okubita hoi ache je 3 bar 4 bar jodi jay eta hubo na ki eble mane bahirot olai kini thakba laga hoy problem to hoise baro iman rod di ase tar bisot eneke mane iman goromot oha joa koru tar bisot poribo laga hoy iman goromot hagoro lage jodi fan khone nosole thale poribo keneke pai.
But the government says it's trying its best.
এই সময়ত আমাৰ পিক যেটো ডিমান্ড হয় সেইটো আছিল 1800 মেগাৱাট। আমি 1800 মেগাৱাট হলে আমাৰ চলি যায়, আৰু আমাৰ যি পাৱাৰ টাইড আপ আছে সেইটো হল 1650 মেগাৱাট। অৰ্থাৎ আমি constantly the peak hour power requirement has gone to 2500 megawatt.
Assam needs about 700 megawatts of extra power in the peak hours to do away with power cuts, and it will cost at least 180 crores per month. The challenge for the government is to manage this crisis without raising power tariff. With Nakul Rabha in Guwahati, Ratndeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
Once plagued by militancy, Bangus Valley in Kashmir, Pir Panjal range is now open for tourism. There's a rush this year to witness the Bangus festival. Nazir Masoodi with this report.
Thousands gather for the Bangus festival, a new tourist destination in North Kashmir. Once a no-go area due to militancy, the Bangus Valley, a vast meadow, is now an off-beat destination for tourists as the Jammu and Kashmir witnesses a massive influx of visitors, surpassing all previous records.
And there's tens of thousands of people participated, and it's not happened before. It's probably for the first time ever this has happened. इस स्केल का यहाँ बंगस में कभी नहीं हुआ. 2 साल पहले यहाँ हुआ है इवेंट, बट इस पैमाने, इस मयार, इस स्केल का नहीं हुआ है. I think this is just the beginning of putting Bangus on the international tourism map, national and international tourism map.
Bringing the Bangus Valley on the tourism map is expected to create jobs for villagers and transform the local economy in the remote villages of Kashmir. In the absence of hotels, the government is encouraging villagers to turn their homes into homestays and guest houses for the tourists.
टूरिज्म हमारी प्राचीन संस्कृति का अहम हिस्सा है और इसीलिए हम अतिथि देवो भव केवल कहते नहीं हैं बल्कि जीते हैं. मेहमान को मेहमान नहीं भगवान का दर्जा हमारे यहाँ दिया गया है. कश्मीर के टूरिज्म डिपार्टमेंट ने एक इंटीग्रेटेड इकोसिस्टम तैयार करने का प्रयास किया है.
Last year, Jammu and Kashmir received 1.88 crore tourists. Most of them were Mata Vaishno Devi pilgrims. And according to the administration, the number of tourists is expected to cross 2 crore this year. As the number of tourists visiting Kashmir is increasing by the day, the government is adding 75 off-beat destinations into the tourism map of the state. In Srinagar with Nazir Masoodi, NDTV Bureau Report.
Meanwhile, Indian markets rally for 7 straight trading sessions to hit record high levels, while the Nifty 50 crossed the 20,000 level for the first time. Sensex was about 400 points shy of its record high. BQ Prime's Neeraj Shah reports.
Well, 20,000 is a special number for sure. And while, yes, it is a milestone in a long journey, you celebrate such large landmarks, 10,000 points, 20,000 points, so on and so forth. It's a point to reflect upon the journey gone by, and the journey gone by talks of some very heavy buying that has happened at the broader end of the spectrum in the recent past and not so much in the large caps, and therefore there is a belief among select pockets in the sell side that while we are at valuations which could optically be called expensive, there are pockets of undervaluation within the large cap end. I mean, some of the strongest and the most heavyweight sectors, banking, IT, oil and gas or energy, have not quite participated in the rally thus far, and therefore there is a case that even if some of the others overvalued sectors correct, these sectors, the heavyweights, could now participate, large caps could participate, and the markets could be stable. Even if there is a correction, there could be a bit of a buy on dip strategy. Frankly, the monthly flows that have come into the SIP route talk about very heavy buying in the mid cap and the small cap end of the market, and therefore we know that that market has done well, or that part of the market has done well. Now at 20,000, we know that large caps are putting their hand up and saying that we will participate. So special moment, yes, a milestone, a pit stop in a very long journey, and as per experts, once the flow of FI money starts coming in, maybe after the elections, you could very well see multiple higher levels getting eclipsed.
This is a special on NDTV. India's chess trinity speaks to us. In fact, Viswanathan, Anand, Pragnanda and Gukesh T in an exclusive conversation. Take a look.
It's not often we meet all of you together. Now, young talents have taken over chess in India. Gukesh has taken over as number one. 36 years you are dominating. How does it feel for you? What does it mean for India, Vishy?
It's fantastic, and I think today is the day to acknowledge that. So we are coming to the school, Velamal, which has supported both of them and actually has supported many chess players. It's great that the Tamil Nadu government and the sports minister, Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin, will be coming and participating. And I think it's a celebration today of that fact.
Gukesh, you're number 1 in India. You're with Vichy. What does it mean to you?
It's surely a very special achievement. By no means I'm anywhere close to like his greatness, but I'm very happy that I've managed this feat. But yeah, long way to go.
Fred, you were the youngest in the world to reach the World Cup finals and first in India after Vichy. The match of course went in favor of Carlsen, but what would that mean to the whole experience?
Yeah, for me personally it was a very good experience, the whole World Cup. That was my second World Cup, and I think as I said, it was a very good experience. Just to play Magnus and this tie-break experience are very important, and he has a very huge experience in that, and I felt I played well overall in the event. So I'm very happy with the way I'm playing, not only in that event but also apart from that in general. So yeah, I just want to keep on working hard and just try to get to the top very soon.
Vichy, would you have any word of caution, advice for the two youngsters now?
I have mentioned this many times in the past, but both of them hardly need reminding. They continue to work hard. They continue to set new goals, and that's all I could tell them.
And what next for you now?
I have a few tournaments lined up, and I'll try to do my best. I'll keep working hard and see how far I can go.
Asian Games?
Yeah. Before that, I have also another tournament, but yeah, Asian Games is a huge event for sure.
They both have grown up seeing you as an icon, and they're also part of your academy. That's an extra special thing for you. Continue to motivate them, guide them.
Yes, obviously I feel that I've had a chance to interact with them, perhaps offer them some advice, some guidance over the last couple of years, and that's very, very exciting for us. And in fact, I believe that far more exciting times ahead. So that's really something to look forward to. I'm very happy that I could engage with them these last 3 years through WACA.
Lastly, like Gukesh's parents, your mom in the entire world watched your mom stand by your side. Tell us about her support.
For me, yeah, family support is very, very important, I think, in anyone's journey, and I'm just grateful to have such a family, with my sisters supporting me in chess wise, and my parents, my mom traveling everywhere, and my father supporting from home. And I think I'm just fortunate to have such a family.